All right, welcome back. We continue with the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown, focusing on the Penguins, who now have made some changes to their coaching staff. 3 coaches gone, and you wonder about what happens next year. So let's start with you, Rich, on this one. The window, we just talked about the Steelers, but how would you look at the Penguins' window of opportunity here moving forward? Is it open? Is it closed? Is it in between?
It's definitely in between. It's like this. I think they have a chance. I thought the window was closed, in 2015, but they somehow turn it around. Now, these guys are obviously 5 years older, and your team's 5 years older. I'd like to see them keep, obviously they're going to keep Sidney Crosby around. I'd like to see him keep Evgeny Malkin around. But in order to keep that window open and not turn into the Kings or the Chicago Blackhawks, you have to trade a big name. You have to trade some guys to get some core pieces in here, younger guys that can play, younger guys that can score. I still think you need, and we've seen how they won Stanley Cups, you need that third-line center. They couldn't find it. And you need one of those. You need 3 good lines. And you need to do something with your goaltending situation. I know what I would do.
What's that?
Well, are you going to make us beg, Rich? What would you do?
I would trade Matt Murray. I was going to wait to unveil that when he asked us about Murray. But I'm going to trade Matt Murray.
Well, you may not get a lot from Matt Murray right now. He's coming off 3
I'm not saying you're
going to
get a lot for him.
Free agent.
Give the job to Jari so he's not looking over his shoulders. I mean, what has Murray done since? I understand
and that's
he's won
what you're dealing
2
with
Stanley
when you deal
Cups.
him. You're dealing with a guy who hasn't done anything in 3 years, basically.
Yeah, we can't pay him for winning 2 Stanley Cups 3 years ago.
Here's a better question. Here's a better Penguins question. If you think their window is open or can be kept open or propped back open with correct moves, is Jim Rutherford really the guy you want making them anymore? Because if I were David Morehouse and Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle, I'd look long and hard at the guy who got me 2 Stanley Cups by wheeling and dealing and wonder if he lost the Midas touch and is driving this thing straight into the dumpster. Because that's what I'm becoming continually convinced of with every passing day. You got to trade Matt Murray. If it's for pennies on the dollar, so be it. And you have to seriously consider disabusing Jim Rutherford of the notion that he's going to be Penguins GM for another day.
Mark?
See, I wouldn't quite write off GM JR right now because he's brought in for a specific reason, I believe, and it was for willing and dealing and try to prop that window back up a little bit more. And the way to do that was to trade all the first-round picks, second-round picks, and now that's coming home to roost here. And now they don't have a farm system and have anybody to fill in some of those lines. And so you might have to trade somebody like Richie said, but definitely I think you can't write them off as long as you have those 3 or 4 guys, if it is Gino, Sidney, and Letang, but they need to add something to this, or just get another coach.
Yeah, younger. All right.
What's coming home to roost is Jack Johnson, by the way. 5 years, $16.25 million because he was Sidney Crosby's buddy at Shattuck St. Mary's. That's what's coming home to roost. You signed a horrible contract to one of the absolute god-awful worst players in the NHL, and that's not an exaggeration. It's the truth.
And
that's why I'm mad at the GM.
He also brought in John Marino, who could be the next big-time guy, and he got him for nothing. So let's talk about moves that need to be made. I'm going to give you guys a name. Quick answers around the horn. We'll go Rich, Mark, and then Chris. Chris Letang. What do you do, Rich?
I trade him because I think he's your biggest asset to get something in return. He's obviously still can play. He makes some moves. I mean, he still can play out there is what I was basically saying. And I think you can get something in return for him right now. He's still a popular player. I think I would get rid of him. That wasn't a quick answer because I was stumbling all over the place. But yeah, I would trade him.
I was going to say that, Rich. If that was quick, forget about it. I'd keep him. I mean, I think he's still one of the best defensemen. I think you have got to get rid of somebody like Schultz, but I'd keep Letang.
Well, Schultz will be gone as an unrestricted free agent for sure because Jim Rutherford just basically kicked him in the rear end on the way out the door. Which
you really don't like Jim Rutherford. Trade him.
I've soured on him because he's doing a bad job now. What have you done for me lately? You won the team 2 cups a couple of years ago, and now you've turned everything you've touched to you-know-what.
I don't know. Jason Zucker was a pretty good deal. I still like that. All right, Patrick Hornquist.
You've cherry-picked Marino and Zucker. Who else is there? Jack Johnson's still on this team.
I understand, and
Jared
they can
McCann
also buy him out.
Don't
be surprised if they buy him out. And absolutely, and McCann was good. Now he's, you never know what you're going to get. But I think I like he's still a guy who had a lot to do with what they did, and I still believe in his abilities to get this done. We'll see. Patrick Hornquist, Rich, quick.
Chris said that Jack Johnson had the worst deal on the team. I agree, but I think Patrick Hornquist not too far behind. I would try to move him somehow and get that money off the books.
Jeez, Rich, you're not keeping anybody, are you?
No.
I think you got. I think you got to keep him too. He's the only guy that has any type of grit and net front presence.
Not for
That's
what
they
he's
need more
being
of.
paid.
Who's going to take him?
I also
though?
think.
Yeah,
I think you've got to
that's a
keep
good
him
question.
because I think he's got a pretty tough no movement clause in that contract,
Right.
if memory serves. And I would keep him too because I think he does provide you with a net front presence.
All right, I wanted to get more in, but we're out of time. Now we're going to go round the
Rich.
horn for this week's Smooth Moves,
I
brought
ruined
to
it.
you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. That would be Armina Stone. Mark Kaboly, you're our special guest tonight. What is your Smooth Move of the week?
Well, I'm going to the NFL, of course, and as I may have tweeted earlier, the NFL only has 15 COVID-19 cases right now out of about 2,500 players. I think whatever they're doing it pretty correctly, and it may prove that you might not need a bubble to be successful, but let's wait a little longer and let's get into the season and see this happen. But so far, so good. I got to give them credit.
You know, I was going to go with the cat on Twitter that's catching golf balls, but after I heard Chris Mueller finished third in the Moon Open, shooting 78-87, I got to give it to Mosey, old Mosey, finishing third.
87.
Yeah, I got to give it to me, but a sarcastic one for triple bogeying 18 when a par would have won me the whole thing. So I'm going to give myself the opposite of a smooth move. Smooth, but not really. Good job, idiot.
17 holes of smooth, and that's how golf can get you. One bad hole takes it all away. Armina Stone, Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Check them out at Armina Stone. When we come back, college football. How likely is it that we see some next?